Hey everybody, it's been quite a while. Um, God, man, that has been freaking long, long amounts of fucking time. But I dare not fret about it any longer, yes. Today I'm going to be reviewing the G.I. Joe Classified series, Professor Rockclaw, whoever the hell that is, and the Cobra Deinonychus. The real reason why anybody's buying this thing. Shit. I mean, I don't know. Like, I never was a huge G.I. Joe fan in particular, you know? Like, it never really meant anything to me. You know, I never had an opinion on it. But I tell you what, when they make these sets, they've been making these really badass looking articulated animal figurines to go with the human character, and as you can imagine, that appeals a lot to me. Amongst a bunch of other people. I have the crocodile. The crocodile's amazing. I have the scorpion, which you guys will see soon enough. And of course, now I have the Deinonychus. The polar bear would be really badass to own, but that shit's like fucking $60, man. Who got that kind of money? Fucking, I don't know. I mean, maybe if it went down in price, but I know that shit ain't gonna happen. So, anyways, you got the G.I. Joe Classified series tag on there. You got the Cobra thing. Now, I know this is the bad guys of G.I. Joe, you know, like this is like their whole shtick, you know, and then there's the good guys, which I don't know if their group has any particular name or if it's just called G.I. Joe. Like I said, I have literally know nothing about the franchise. You got the barcode there, or whatever you call that thing, the watermark. I don't know. You got some other stuff. You got some cool posings of the figurines and such on the back. Yes. You know, it shows all these different things, the interchangeable swap out parts and such that it comes with. And then you got this kick-ass artwork on the back. I mean, really, really cool stuff. I love the way the Deinonychus looks. It's a very pretty design for this sort of creature, you know. But anyways, let me get it out of the box real quick. And alright, I got them out of the box. I mean, I don't see the point in showing all that. I mean, you know how it goes. It's a standard box. I guess I'll go with the least interesting part first, you know, which is Dr. Rockclaw here, which he really needs to shave that pile of seagull shit growing out of his head off. I mean, seriously, like, I think the guy was going for like an intimidating look, but the honey badger scalp is just not doing it for him. Like, I don't know, like, he looks pretty damn corny. Though I tell you what, I can't wait to rip his face off and turn him into some sort of humanoid apish monster. Honestly, one of the things I'm happy about is if one, I get a badass dinosaur, and two, I get a cool humanoid shape to work with all the proper articulation fixings. I'm thinking maybe a Yautja or something like that, you know, badass predator would work. I mean, hell, he already got half of a wrist gauntlet going. But, you know, in terms of articulation, you know, you got the standard, you know, it's hand swivel and all that. They don't appear to have any sort of up and down action, just swiveling to the sides. Head twists around like that, you know, clothing is kind of restrictive with this corny ass hoodie you got in the back. It's like, reminds me of like Megamind's outfit, you know, but like not as extravagant. He got his shoulder pads here. Yeah, that's probably great when you're working with a pissed off dinosaur, you know, fucking. You got accessories wise, he got a gun, you know. You got a whip, you know, for those who are into whipping. You got holster for said gun and whip, I suppose. Here we go. Yep. Got these little pockets and shit, you know, and he got these legs which bend like so. You know, nothing crazy, just a leg bend. Though I tell you what, it's always nice to have that sort of thing done for you on an articulated figure instead of having to recreate it, because that kind of shit's annoying. Possible, but annoying. You know, midsection turns. Actually, can I remove this? Because that would make crafting a lot easier. Plus, you never know when you need body armor for something else. I think I can. I believe it's not attached. probably by a peg and a little bit of glue. That'll be easy. Easy to dispatch, you know. Cut this guy up, Dr. Frankenstein style, you know. But anyways, forget about him. Well, actually, before we forget about him, he comes with this mask, which is cool. I like it. Make for like a good monster face, you know, do a little bit of sculpting on there, maybe like the Mole Man or some shit, I don't know. And then, of course, the star of the show here, the Deinonychus. Yes. Deinonychus. I ain't got nothing clever there. Mine seems to be stuck with like this sort of Billy Idol sneer that he got going on. That and the one of his crests seems to be bent a little bit, which is a damn shame. But that's all right, you know. To me, it gives him a little bit of character, and worst comes to worst, you know, you could always just heat up some water and just bend it with the right shape. I know this ain't the way it's supposed to come, but like I actually kind of like the way that looks, like a proper pissed off sneer, you know. The teeth. Let me zoom in a little bit further. The teeth are okay, you know, they're not bad. I mean, I know how hard it is to paint teeth and all that, so especially when you get them this small. And the fact that there isn't more rub off onto the gums is a freaking miracle, except for that little smidge of it right there, but you don't really see that too much from far away. Bottom jaw's all right, you know. Let me see here if I can get a more in the light view of it. There we go. Yeah, not bad. As a raptor, a dromaeosaurid, even when they're depicted as like scaled in paleomedia and all that, they often remember to give them lips, which is interesting because most theropods, they're just like, fuck that, don't give them lips, you know, give them that weird toothy crocodilian snarl, which works with some individuals, you know, artists and all that, designs, but a lot of the time I think it just looks odd. And it don't make much sense, you know, because it's like most land-living animals and creatures in the sea, funny enough, have lips. You know, it's just crocodiles are like the one outlier. But, you know, crocodiles are kind of weird in multiple different ways, so, you know, I don't know, to me, they're not a good base, but I get it, you know, you only got so much to work with when it comes to just depicting an extinct animal, you know, I mean, shit, the stuff ain't hard. Or the stuff is hard, I meant to say. What was it? Stuff ain't hard. I mean, yeah, it ain't hard to predict what an animal fucking millions of years ago looked like. That's a nice throat hole in the back there, yeah. One thing that surprises me is, in a lot of review videos, you know, like you watch Andy's dinosaur reviews, all that good shit, you know, give you a better in-depth look than I probably will. The eyes look white a lot of the time, or at least I remember the eyes looking white, but here they're like a distinct kind of, very like light blue. They're very pretty. I love the way they look, you know, I've seen many a bird eye that look exactly like this, and yeah, just that kind of cold, calculating stare. That is pretty. Wouldn't be so bad if his jaw wasn't a little fucked up. Looked like he got punched in the face a few more times, and he's like, shit. But yeah, I do kind of like that sneer look that he has. But anyways, yeah, the top of the head moves pretty well. I've heard people bitch and complain about this gap right here, but listen, not but listen, but listen. I'll honestly say out of my own mouth that this really isn't that bad. I mean, there's a gap, yeah, sure, but how else? I mean, there's many ways to articulate a head, but I mean, this works pretty well. I mean, it goes about that far. You know, you give it all the right looking. The up top, you know, looking vertically upwards doesn't look as, I'm not going to say as good, but it doesn't move as well, which is okay. I mean, it's not like you need it to. Now, when you point it down, the gap is not the greatest in the world. I mean, it's noticeable, but you could hide that shit with angles of a camera if you're doing stop motion. It's not really the end of the world. The dewlap here, I like this dewlap, you know, nice saggy, saccular throat sack, you know, fucking nice dangly waddle from the neck, you know. Actually knew a person who had one of these. His name was Gary. He's an alright fella, kind of odd. But besides that, what was it? You got a lot of good veiny creasing detail there. Just the pattern on the face and the eyes, just the color as a whole are very, very appealing. They're very beautiful. You got the ear holes. Overall, I'd say it moves around like fairly well. I mean, this is about the best amount of articulation, like or not the best amount, but like bare minimum of articulation you would like from like something that to do stop motion with. You want it the head, base of the neck. You want a little bit like the rotating of the arms. Of course, it depends on the creature. Let me zoom out a little bit. Here we go. You definitely want this sort of articulation. That the elbow articulation's optional. Hands is always nice. Which, speaking of which, let me zoom back in here. You got this little bit of mane of feathers here, which is really nice. It's actually not attached. Let me see if I can pop the head off. There we go. It's not attached. It's a separate piece, which is cool because you can actually have it without the neck piece, which looks pretty good too, and gives it a tad bit more mobility. So you could have it without, all things considered. And it looks pretty solid. Since I'll probably be popping that off again, I'll just keep it off for the time. You got this little back cape of feathers, and then you have these crocodilian-esque scales that run down the animal. Going back to the Andy's Dinosaur reviews, I know he said that he didn't care too much for this, and of course everybody's opinion changes over time, and I can see why, but me personally, I actually really like it. One, for the simple fact that you really don't see too many dromaeosaurids with these kind of osteoderm scoots. And if we're talking about some evil corporation that somehow brought dinosaurs back to life, I don't think accuracy would be their main concern. Like, let's make this motherfucking thing as tough as possible, that way it could be running into combat. If it gets shot in the back or something, these scales will definitely help it out quite a bit. So that don't bother me. Also, I love the transition of, the crocodilian scales into, the tuft of feathers in the back here. God, that is just... It's fucking glorious, yes. I like it quite a bit, yes. And, of course, you got the holes in the back here. It's a bendy wire. It twists like so. It's very nice, Good moving and all that, Good movability and all that. Nothing in the center, although you could see all the nice... fine detail work all around here. One thing I'm not the happiest with is the Cobra logo, tramp stamped onto the side of its thigh here. That's, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I ignore it, it's not it's not like a deal breaker or nothing, but yeah, could have did it without, but I don't know. I can imagine a fucking evil company creating a creature like this. Yeah, they probably would stamp their fucking logo on the living animal. I know whoever the hell will clone mammoths will probably do that. So knee bends about that far, goes in about that far, and then you got a nice ankle joint right around here, which, ooh, that is nice. That moves very well. It's fairly solid, too. Yes. Alright, and then the toe, or the foot, I'll get to the toe in a second. The foot moves about this far in. Very nice. That far back out. So you can get them in a proper sitting pose, which I like, perch them up on a tree waiting for prey or human beings to go below. And the toe claw moves as well, which I love this. It pisses me off that the Hammond Collection Raptors do not have this. At least not as far as I've seen. I actually don't think I own any. But yeah, as far as I've seen from reviews and such, they don't have these, which is some horse shit because it's an easy thing to do. It's a fucking easy thing to do. All you do is you cut the toe off, and then you take a tiny little drill bit, you drill through the toe into the foot, and then you put a peg. Easy as that. Fucking mazel tov. It's not nothing fancy. I don't understand why they don't do shit like that. It's multi-million-dollar company. You can't even do simple toe claw articulation. Well, thank you, Hasbro, for fucking putting toe claw articulation on your raptors. Plus, this toy line here doesn't apparently brag about being a premium line, unlike Hammond Collection. But either way, yeah, I love the little feathers on the back of the ankles here. Like this whole raptor has a very pleasing aesthetic to me. You know, it's like it feels like a properly genetically modified beast. You know, like they got it just about right, but then they added some other creatures in here. You know, for combat prowess or whatever. You know, I think I already brought up the facial markings, but God, that is beautiful. Damn near identical on each side, which is hard to do. God, a little red here and there. Just overall, a very pretty animal. So let's get to the scorpion. Anyway, what was it? You could turn the wisps. You could turn the wrists, you know, the other way to properly pronate them. You know, like a real dinosaur. Because for people who don't know, a dinosaur's hand physically, at least the species we've discovered, physically cannot pronate this way. Like it can't do this like our wrists can. Like if a dinosaur's wrist was like this, it would be broken. You know, like it'd be broken in combat. They actually have it like this, you know, where it's like facing. Well, actually, I'm better off demonstrating on here, where it's facing to the side, you know, in like a clapping kind of motion. So I do like that you could change that because I actually prefer it to look like this, you know. Just feels right, you know. Yeah, I like that shit. So anyways, on to the scorpion. I think you guys are going to like this because I modified the scorpion quite a bit. Which I'm about to show you. Oh, God, camera, come on. You guys are going to have to let me know what you think about this. I wanted to make something that looked like it evolved on Skull Island. And, yeah, I think I succeeded for the most part. Like, it's pretty fucking gnarly looking. We get a close-up. I didn't want to go for any specific group. I just wanted to mix a bunch of different arthropod and, yeah, pretty much different arthropod body shapes, you know, like, I got crab in here, obviously scorpion, shitloads of Eurypterid inspiration here, so I'll give you an overall look of the body. Turned the back legs into paddles for swimming, with false eyes for, you know, intimidating larger beasts. The base of this was a Styracosaurus tail. With some, what was it? Sinoceratops jugal horns attached to the bottom here, you know, or the side. And then I just added the armor and sculpted in between. The armor towards the end here is reduced, is more or less the same, while the God, I cannot speak. The middle bits are reduced, you know, for flexibility's sake. Here, let me pop this off real quick. I did the articulation in here by taking the thigh of a Thanator from one of those Avatar sets. You know, I found a bunch of those at a Ross for cheap. So I bought quite a few of them, and, you know, I took this whole thigh piece and glued it in there, and then, you know, attached like the little ball joint there, you know, snipped it at the end and made it to where it could fit in. This piece is removable, and you can still see a little bit of the Styracosaur in there. Pop that on there. Get all around look. Not my best sculpting work, but I think it looks pretty solid. I actually busted this dude out in 5 days. The sculpting was more or less done in 2. And then, like, I guess not counting, like, the clear coat and all that I used, I want to say, yeah, maybe, like, 4 days. So you got all the patterns here. I want to make it kind of look like a face. You know, I added some brown to the legs. Got eye spots and stuff. And then I added these proper breathing holes. I'm not actually sure what the scientific name is, but that's how insects breathe. They have these little pores throughout their body that they absorb oxygen through. Along with vestigial legs. I guess the biological explanation would be that the legs shrank to give way for these, I'm just going to call them gills for the sake of simplicity, the gills to grow and enlarge, you know. Besides, you don't really need them. You got these 3 big-ass legs. And then the other legs, actually, I used to make these pinchers, which, you know, the original scorpion pinchers that it had were pretty good, you know, but, like, to me, they were big. They were too big for its body. Like, they were awkwardly huge. The scorpion couldn't even stand right because of how big they were. So, of course, you know, I modified them into proper claws. You know, it got a ball joint here, and then I cut it like so to where each claw could go inwards and outwards. Yeah. I'm very, very satisfied with that. Like, this is definitely some better work in terms of, like, modifying a creature. Because I'd say this is more of, like, I mean, it is a custom. I did do plenty of work on it, but I don't know if I'd call it a modification, because it's not like the full creature was changed. I just changed it a bit, you know, to where to where it was distinctly different, but not too much. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. But how I did the claws, right, was I took this portion of the leg, right, the portion of the leg with the articulation, and then I cut it right about here, and then sliced it here, and then attached it, like so. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. You got the eye stalks here, more based off of a coconut crab. Looks almost kind of sad. I was trying to keep them intimidating, but, you know, hey, I probably didn't succeed at that, but that's all right. And the eye stalks have articulation as well. How I achieved this was I took what do you call it? A toothpick. There we go. I took toothpicks, covered it in resin, or stuck it through a bead, covered it in resin, sculpted over that. The back legs here were where I shaved off the inner plastic of the tail, and then I cut it in half and glued it to the leg portion right here and sculpted off of that. Yeah, overall, not too bad. I'm quite happy with how this beast turned out. Yeah. You know what, though? I'm not going to lie. If I had thought about it at the time, I would have actually given these little vestigial arms some movement, you know. Would have did it the same way I did the eyes here. And the mouth. I almost forgot. The mouth can articulate. Let me get the claw out of the way here. Hang on a second. You got little tendrils. I was going to say feelers, but yeah, they're pretty much the same shit. Got tendrils for sensing prey. And yeah, the jaw opens up the same way. You got the stick, ball joint. I tried to hide it as best as I could with painting it. But yeah, I'd say it worked out pretty well, because, I don't know, like, excuse me, I don't know, you know, it was just didn't feel right, you know, the fact that they have this oddly amniote, there we go, oddly, cannot speak, have this oddly amniote-esque mouth on this creature, and it can't even open, you know, so I was like, what the hell, I'm going to do it myself. Hang on, there we go. Then I sculpted the throat hole in the back. Kind of hard to see. Too bad I can't use the flashlight on the phone while I'm recording. Yeah, you guys can see it. So, you know, I'm very pleased with how this custom turned out. I mean, you know, with the limited amount of resources and stuff, I whipped them out in a very short amount of time. And yeah, that's pretty much that, you know. I think it looks pretty damn good. Guess I could go with size comparisons. So, as size comparisons go, you know, you got the crocodile here, the Fiona crocodile, compared up to the Deinonychus, and yeah, they scale pretty damn well with each other. I mean, of course, I don't know what specific species Fiona here is. I assume, like, either a Nile or a saltwater, so, I don't know, I mean, I'd say it's a fair size, you know. If anything, I think Deinonychus might have been a little smaller than this, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. And then up to the scorpion here, I'd say, oh shit. I'd say they all fit pretty well amongst each other. God, imagine a stop motion battle royale between these three. I mean, I ain't got like the right stuff to, puppeteer the Deinonychus, but I could sure as hell have these two fight each other. Soon enough. Oh, and before I go, actually, let me show what the armor looks like on the Deinonychus. Almost forgot to show that. Oh, God, I'm not good at these reviews. So, let me see. I imagine it pops on, oh yeah, just like that. And that's nice. Does the head go on just as easy? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. Actually, looks like oh. Use my foot grasping power to grab this. There we go. Vestigial toes. At least they still got some use to them. Anyways, so yeah, is it just me or does like this head armor look like Yongary a little bit? Like the Kaiju Yongary. It looks damn near like that. Let me zoom in a bit. I really like the detail on it. Yeah, wow. That's pretty damn cool. Ooh, and that's a cool visual right there. You know, you got the teeth in the middle and then the robotic teeth or the metal teeth on the side. Very nice, very nice. I like the fact that it gives it sort of like a retro movie monster look. That is badass. And then let me see here. I assume you got the sort of metal harness type thing. Let me see if I could pop that back or pop that on. So that's why the Alright, so that's why the main piece is detachable, because you could pop that in. And that goes on really nicely. It's too bad they don't give them like a leash or something to to have that attached to, because I tell you what, that would make it pretty damn great right there, though. I don't know. This doesn't take me as an animal that'd walk well on a leash. Shit. Good. And then, of course, you got the whip here. I mean, I imagine you actually probably could get the whip on there. Hang on a second. There we go. Good enough, maybe? I mean, I could see that working, kind of. It's not properly attached on there, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's a pretty damn good figurine, I'd say. Same goes for him, though. Obviously, I bought, I asked for this guy specifically, and I'll be crafting him into something cool. Speaking of asking for this, I'd like to thank my mom, since this is a early birthday gift, I guess you could say. She's like, hey, what do you want? And I said, oh, this thing would be pretty cool. She's like, all right. And, I definitely appreciate her for doing that for me, But yeah, overall, my final verdict. I'd have to say this is an overall pretty damn good figurine set. I can't complain. It's got good detail, good articulation. Price is a bit high, but honestly, you could say that for fucking everything. Let's be honest here. You can't buy nothing nice anymore without it costing you a fucking arm and a leg. So, I don't know. I won't bitch too much about that. Especially as it was a gift, given to me. I didn't actually pay for it, but, I paid for these two. So I know these things are pricey. Anyways, yeah. Honestly, I would give it maybe an 8 out of 10, Great dinosaur figure, pretty solid human figure. There's a little bit of the jaw and like the crooked crest issue with mine, but that's an easy fix, not even worth complaining about. Overall, I'd say, yeah, pretty damn badass. I like it. So that's pretty much it. That's hope everybody has a good one, and I'll see you whenever the hell. I don't know when the next time I'll make anything will be, But hope all of you have a great day and take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time.